In a town where loyalty is tested and justice is rarely simple, today brings us a collision of power, pain, and secrets long buried. A son faces the trial of his life. Two legal heavyweights square off with reputations on the line. And as hearts crack and old wounds bleed, Salem stands at the edge of a cliff, about to fall. This is Days of Our Lives, and this is the storm of Tuesday, July 29th. The air inside the Salem courthouse is thick with tension, so dense, you could slice it with a knife. Camera flashes snap as Johnny DiMera steps into the courtroom, flanked by attorneys and a mountain of accusations. He doesn't say a word, but his body language speaks volumes. Shoulders tight, eyes lowered, jaw clenched just enough to hide the fear threatening to crack his composure. He's no longer just the artistic soul behind a camera lens. No longer just a heartbroken lover or rebellious heir. Today, Johnny is the accused, the alleged gunman in a crime that has shattered his family. Accused of trying to kill his own father, E.J. DiMera. Gasps ripple through the gallery as the court comes to order. Everyone wants a glimpse of Johnny. Is he guilty? Is this the same charming DiMera heir they once rooted for? Sitting behind him, Chanel clings to hope. She knows Johnny's flaws, his impulsiveness, his temper. But the man she loves, the one she believes in, could never commit patricide. Could he? As the trial begins, the prosecution wastes no time. They lay out a timeline, introduce damning forensic evidence, and suggest motive, a rift between father and son, power struggles, resentment, all leading to a single, chilling conclusion. Johnny listens, stiff and silent. But inside, his mind is racing. Did someone set him up? Is this all just a twisted part of a larger DiMera conspiracy? Around him, the DiMera legacy looms. The very name has become synonymous with power, deception, and betrayal. And now, that legacy may crush him. This trial isn't just about one bullet. It's about generations of secrets, loyalty torn apart, and the question on everyone's lips. Did Johnny truly try to kill his father? Or is he just the latest pawn in a DiMera chess game no one can control? If Johnny's trial is the spectacle, then the real showdown is between two of Salem's sharpest minds, E.J. DiMera and Belle Black. The courtroom becomes their arena. In one corner, E.J. stands tall. A father determined to clear his son's name, but also a man burdened by his own sins. Behind the mask of calm legal prowess lies a storm of desperation. He's not just here for Johnny, he's fighting for the DiMera legacy, for control, for redemption. E.J.'s voice is forceful, confident. He paints Johnny as a scapegoat, a victim of DiMera family enemies who would stop at nothing to see them fall. He frames the case as a smear campaign. He questions the chain of evidence, undermines witness credibility, and appeals to the jury's sense of doubt. But across the aisle, Belle Black is ice in human form. Poised, tactical, deadly. She doesn't flinch under pressure, not even from someone as ruthless and manipulative as E.J. Belle has history with the DiMeras. She knows how they twist truth, how they buy silence, how they rewrite reality to suit their needs. And she's here to make sure the court sees through E.J.'s performance. With surgical precision, Belle dissects E.J.'s arguments. She exposes inconsistencies. She reintroduces testimony E.J. tried to bury. She refuses to let him weaponize emotion or legacy to sway the jury. But make no mistake, this isn't just about legal ethics. This is personal. Belle isn't merely doing her job, she's sending a message. No one, DiMera or not, is above justice. As the day wears on, the tension builds. Their exchanges grow more venomous. Objections fly. The judge struggles to maintain control. But beneath the civility of the courtroom, a brutal war is unfolding. Every glance between E.J. and Belle is a silent dare. Every legal maneuver a calculated threat. How far is E.J. willing to go to protect Johnny and himself? And how far is Belle willing to push to make sure truth, not power, prevails? The jury watches. The audience holds its breath. Because in this courtroom, it's not just about guilt or innocence, it's about which titan will fall first. In the quiet shadows of Salem, far from the buzzing tension of the courthouse, another kind of storm brews, more personal, more intimate, and just as powerful. Inside a dimly lit corner of the Brady pub, Philip Kyriakis sits across from his mother, Kate Roberts. The silence between them is heavy, not awkward, but fragile, as if one wrong word could crack the glass between them. It's been months since Philip came back from the brink. Months of trying to piece together a life that no longer feels like his own. Titan, once his pride, now feels like a prison wrapped in gold. Every boardroom decision echoes with the weight of his past failures. Every move he makes is haunted by the shadows of who he used to be. Kate watches him with the eyes of a mother who knows too much about pain, about ego, about the burden of second chances. She sees that Philip is unraveling, thread by thread, but she doesn't push. Not yet. And then, he speaks. Quietly, hesitantly, he tells her that the pressure at Titan is suffocating him. That the legacy he's trying to uphold doesn't feel like his own anymore. That being a Kyriakis means standing tall even when you're broken inside, and right now, he feels shattered. Kate's expression softens, but her instincts are sharp. She knows her son is carrying more than corporate stress. Something deeper. A secret maybe. A guilt he can't yet voice. She asks about the investigation, about Gabby's maneuvers, about the rumors swirling around Titan. Philip doesn't say much, but the flicker in his eyes says everything. There's trouble coming. And it might be bigger than either of them imagined. In this rare moment of vulnerability, mother and son connect. No accusations, no lectures, just a shared understanding of how brutal the weight of a family name can be. But there's a silent fear growing between them, that whatever's coming next could drive them apart again. Because in Salem, reunions never last long, especially when buried sins are clawing their way back to the surface. Across town, in the bustling office of The Spectator, tension hangs in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. Stephanie Johnson sits at her desk, trying to focus, but her mind is a hurricane of doubt, shame, and anxiety. She can still hear the echo of Alex's disappointment, still feel the burn of that deleted book excerpt gnawing at her conscience. Enter Jada Hunter. The detective doesn't waste time with pleasantries. Her tone is clipped, her eyes razor sharp. This isn't a friendly drop-in. This is an interrogation cloaked in casual concern. At first, Stephanie tries to play it cool. Just tired, she says. Too much on my plate. But Jada isn't buying it. She leans in, her voice calm but firm, and begins asking questions Stephanie doesn't want to answer. Why did she suddenly demand that part of the book be erased? Why has she been avoiding Titan-related interviews? Why is she constantly on edge around Philip? Stephanie's facade begins to crack. Jada pushes harder. She's seen this behavior before, someone hiding something dangerous. Maybe it's not criminal. Maybe it's just emotional. But in Salem, secrets have a way of becoming explosive. Stephanie finally snaps. It's none of your business, she blurts, eyes flashing with defensiveness, but it's too late. Her reaction has already confirmed Jada's suspicions. Jada softens, just slightly. She tells Stephanie she's not trying to start a war. She's trying to protect her, from herself, from Titan, from whatever nightmare might be closing in. But Stephanie isn't ready to open that door. Not yet. Because buried beneath her polished PR persona is a memory she's desperate to forget. A moment that ties her too closely to the company now under fire. A secret that could destroy her credibility, and maybe, just maybe, destroy someone else's life too. As Jada leaves, the silence left behind is deafening. Stephanie exhales shakily. Her hands tremble, and somewhere deep in her chest, a truth screams to get out. Let's pause for a moment and ask, what's really going on here? Johnny's trial is the public stage, but behind the scenes, Salem is a pressure cooker of suppressed truths and volatile alliances. Why does Marlena sense a darkness growing within her? Why is Susan so certain that Stefano hasn't passed on? And why is everyone so afraid of what Titan might reveal? These aren't disconnected threads. They're part of a tapestry being carefully, dangerously woven. One wrong move, one confession too early, and the whole thing could unravel. The brilliance of today's episode lies not just in what it shows, but in what it hints. Belle's intensity, EJ's desperation, Stephanie's panic, Philip's guilt, all signs of deeper plots simmering just beneath the surface. As viewers, we must ask, who's protecting whom? Who's manipulating the trial? And what secret is big enough to destroy not just one, but multiple Salem families? Tuesday's episode doesn't just set the stage, it lights the match. As Johnny's trial begins, and Salem's elite are forced to take sides, it becomes clear. This isn't just about a gunshot in the dark. It's about power, legacy, and the painful truth that sometimes, the ones who love you most are the ones who can destroy you. Will Johnny survive the trial? Can EJ outmaneuver Belle? And will Stephanie's secret finally explode? Stick around, because the game has changed, and Salem is about to feel the aftershocks. This is just the beginning.